Well, I can't count. Welcome to Haul Yeah Comics. My name is Nate, and I have issues. And today's issues are all team-up covers. This goes with Allan the Comic Collector Geek's weekly challenge. This one was his challenge many weeks ago. I have this really bad habit. I put together a set of books to go along with the challenge, and I set them aside, but I end up getting too busy to record a video, and then they just kind of pile up. So I decided that even though he issued these challenges a long time ago and the weeks have long since passed, I'm going to go ahead and show them anyway. Also, if you can't tell, I've got a head cold. You know, 'tis the season, and I'm just going to do my best to get through this. So let's get started. Let's look at some comic books. First up is Marvel Tales, number 232. This is a reprint of an older Marvel team-up. So these reprinted Marvel team-ups, and the team-up that this is based on is actually one of my childhood books. It's one of the books I've had in my collection for the longest, and this was my introduction to Dazzler. When I found out that they reprinted these and that Todd McFarlane did the covers, I had to have a Todd McFarlane Dazzler. So this is a fairly recent pickup for me, and one that I just think is absolutely cool. Sticking with Marvel, how about Darkhawk issue number 26? In this one, Darkhawk teams up with the New Warriors. I don't know that you can get more 90s than this team up, at least Marvel 90s. Darkhawk is one of those kind of, jokey, extreme 90s Marvel characters that I really like, and I am putting his run together. The New Warriors, not so much. I don't care, but I just thought it was kind of funny that he teamed up with them, and I think he was a sort of member of that team as well. I don't know, but hey, Darkhawk and the New Warriors. Now this next one is just a cool cover. I don't collect the Avengers, but I know a cool cover when I see it. This is Avengers number 223. This is the one where Hawkeye and Ant-Man are kind of doing their own version of the Cannonball Special, but Hawkeye has strapped Ant-Man to an arrow, and he's gonna shoot him at some villains. I got this at like a half off sale. I did not pay too much for it. I think I paid like maybe $4, and I just thought for that, for that iconic cover, that was kind of cool. So this is one that I don't know that I'll keep, to be perfectly honest, but it definitely fit this theme's the challenge of this theme, so I was going to show it. If nothing else, I got to show this cover. Okay, so I didn't want the whole thing to be DC, so I showed some Marvel covers, but hey, let's look at some DC. Now, this first one is a doozy. I kind of feel like it's cheating when you pick a Marvel team-up or a Brave and the Bold, because, those are team-up books, so of course you're going to have a team-up, but I don't care. DC Comics presents issue number 63. I can sell this one as, it's a weird team-up. It's Superman and Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld. I don't know a lot about Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, but I love the 12-issue maxi series I've started collecting and reading. It's kind of goofy, good fun. I can't remember the name of the villain, but I really like the way they do his art with this like concentric circles, but it's not circles, whatever these lines are. It's an interesting art decision with the colors, and I haven't seen it done on anything except this book, so I don't know. Superman teamed up with Amethyst. Whether or not it's a DC Comics Presents team up or not, it was one that I just had to show. Now here's one I didn't know existed until Stevie D showed it, and as soon as he showed it, I had to have it. So this is Silver Surfer Superman number 1, which I think is a very odd hero pairing. Even more odd than the hero pairing, though, is in this, the villains that they go up against are the Impossible Man and Mr. Mxyzptlk. And then you've got art by George Perez and Ron Lim. So this whole thing is like this weird mismatch of things that shouldn't go together, and I'm glad that they did. I feel like this is a real oddity. I'm going to check this out. Somebody commented, I showed this in a live stream, and someone said, I've got that, it's weird. I was like, well, that's right up my alley. So I'm excited to check this one out. This is Silver Surfer Superman issue number 1. It's the only issue. It's a one-shot. All right, maybe I'll try to find a way to shoot this here at the end and make this work, but this is Deadman issue 1, and this is a team-up of Batman, Jim Gordon, and Deadman, and Jim is defusing a bomb that's going to go off. This cover glows in the dark, which I think is such a cheesy but cool cover gimmick. Deadman is a character I like a lot. Batman is a character that I like a lot. And this is, this is a Neil Adams, later Neil Adams, but it's a Neil Adams cover, and very cool. So if I can show you that glow in the dark effect, I'll cut to that now. And if I failed at that glow-in-the-dark effect, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. In Mr. Miracle, issue number 6, the series from the 90s, written by Keith Giffen and J.M.D. Mateus, we have a team-up of Mr. Miracle and Nort, the Green Lantern created by Keith Giffen, who I think is an absolutely hysterical, character who, I don't know, he harkens back to like hokey type of jokes and things, but I think he works. So Nort is a character that came out of Justice League International. I read Mr. Miracle because of Justice League International. I think Keith Giffen is one of the best writers of the 1990s, and this one just made me smile when I saw it, so I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. Now again, this one feels kind of like I'm cheating a little bit because, I mean, the very title makes it a team-up book. This is Green Lantern Green Arrow issue number 100, but if you look at the cover, it's a double-size special with 2 team-up stories. So, I'm kind of doubling our pleasure here. I'm like double mint gum. So this one has the team-up of Green Lantern and Green Arrow, but more importantly to me, it has the team-up of Green Lantern and Airwave. Airwave is a character who has sort of started to come back. His whole thing is that, his superpowers allow him to work over like radio waves and things. And so, his power doesn't seem like it would be that effective today because radio is so much lessened and we use digital signals. But still, Airwave is a character who's somewhat related to Hal Jordan. There's a whole Golden Age Airwave that then leads into this, which I believe this is the... this is either a first appearance or the death of the original Airwave. There's some key significance to this book. I just like to have it because I get a team up between Hal and Airwave. This is one that I've read a few times before, and it's a lot of fun. So a while back, DC had all these Hanna-Barbera books that they were doing. Flintstones was extremely good. There was a Snagglepuss, and there were just like all these other books that were Hanna-Barbera properties, and this one cracks me up. This is Flash and Speed Buggy, issue number 1. I have not read this one. This one was a gift from my friend Eric, but I think it's kind of ridiculous. And is it just, that is not the Speed Buggy I'm used to seeing, Speed Buggy is like this kind of goofy character. He looks very Rob Liefeld extreme on this one, so I don't know. I think I will have to give this a read, especially since it's a Wally West Flash. And yeah, these team up with Hanna-Barbera characters were funny. There was the Batman Elmer Fudd one that was really popular. So really glad to have this one. I wanted to show it off. I got a couple Silver Age team-ups, and I really like this one. This is Action Comics number 336. This is Supergirl and Comet the Super Horse teaming up against Superman. They're keeping him out of the Fortress of Solitude. So, this is just a great cover. Normally Superman and Supergirl would team up, but of course in the Silver Age their bodies and minds were always getting taken over by something, or there was some reason that they had to do something and they couldn't let the hero know until the very end, that way that they could have an issue of adventure. So, Action Comics number 336. I never pass up a Comet and Supergirl story, ever. This is not their first team up, but this is such a cool cover, and this one is in really good shape. Like, I get a lot of Silver Age books for $3 and $4, and they're very beat up, and I don't care, because I'm just there to, I just want to read the stories. But this one, man, I don't know what I paid for this, but this one is nice. This is Flash number 168, and it is a team up between Flash and Green Lantern. Now, Flash and Green Lantern have a lot of team-ups over the years, but this is a very early one, given that it's a 12-cent Silver Age, but just look how rich the colors are on this one. Like, I can't believe how good a shape this one's in. I'm trying to, keep this one's in a Mylar, because, it's that good. So I'm going to use one of my few Mylars on it, but, if I turn it certain ways, I get so much reflection. So I'm trying to show it so you can still see. I'm really impressed with the condition of this, and whenever I can find a Silver Age book like this that's in this good a condition, I do try to take care of it a little bit more than I do, my general collection. Not that I don't take care of my books, but, I know when something's a little more pressing. Very cool. Very cool. This one's awesome. And then I'm going to end with two independents. One of my favorite characters of all time is the Flaming Carrot, and this is one that I talked to my friend Martin the Aussie comic book collector about. This is Flaming Carrot and Reed Fleming, the world's toughest milkman. I do not know who Reed Fleming, the world's toughest milkman, is, but he is apparently another 90s independent character. And in this one, there's some kind of, there's a wrestling theme on the cover, but, if you look here, we've got Christopher Walken, We've got vampires, but it's Lassie or a collie of some kind. And then the girl from Ipanema. I don't know exactly what's happening on this cover. It doesn't matter because the Flaming Carrot is always a surrealistic, fever dream to read, and that's the point. You don't have to understand it. So I didn't know who this guy was, but apparently, he has an underground following as well, being an independent comic from the 1980s and 90s. So I thought this was a cool find. Got this one pretty sure in a dollar bin. Still haven't read it, but I need to check it out because I did pick up a few Reed Fleming books as well, just so that I could learn a little bit more about the character. All right, my last team-up book here, number 13 for my top 10, because I can't count. This is like easily one of my favorite pickups of the year. One that I had on my list for a long time, and I ended up with multiple copies through, happenstance, chance, and luck. So this is Flaming Carrot number 27. It's the second time that Todd McFarlane is appearing on my top 10 list here. This is the only time that Todd McFarlane has drawn the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is Flaming Carrot number 27, where he teams up with the Turtles. And this cover is awesome. I don't know why it's always touted as the only time Todd has drawn the Turtles. I'm pretty sure it's the only time he's drawn the Flaming Carrot as well, but I guess it's just a degree of popularity there. I just love Todd McFarlane's art, and the fact that he drew, number one, the Turtles, some of my favorite characters of all time, and the Flaming Carrot, absolutely one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm just blown away by that. So, like I said, I had this on my want list, and I ended up picking up a copy at a show for a fair price. And then later on, I found 2 copies for an insane price. So, my collection overfloweth with Flaming Carrot, issue number 27, and I could not be happier. So that's it. Those are my top 10, except there were 13 team-up covers for Allan the Comic Collector Geek's Friday Comic Book Challenge from I don't even know how many weeks ago. I would encourage you that if you're watching this now and you didn't participate before, don't let, I don't think there's a time limit, and I'm going to go ahead and state the rule. There is no time limit. There's no time limit on this. Let's just, if you see something and you're like, hey, that's a good theme, and I've got some covers that would fit it, I think you should show them, because I set these aside and I wanted to show them off, and then I didn't, and I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to go ahead and show these covers. So I really appreciate you watching this one, and I encourage you to participate as well. Please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe if you're so inclined, and I will see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye. Did the microphone pick up my belly rumble? Did you hear that? I should eat. Do you hear that belly? I gotta put food in you.